So by now we've covered music, we've covered choreography. Now let's try and put it all together and talk about picking up choreography. So 98% of my clients have never done choreography before, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same boat. So don't worry about it. The tips and tricks that we're going to give you are going to help you do the dance of your dreams with having little to no experience. All right, so like, somebody turn out the lights. Enrique Iglesias. Yeah, that one too, yeah. So guys, as I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be talking about tips on picking up choreography. So up to this point, we've covered song choices, how, what makes a good song to dance to. We've covered choreography, like what makes good choreography, the structure of it, how it flows. And today we're going to be talking about how to pick up the choreography, okay? So I've got a whole heap of tips that I'm going to tell you. Just up front, I would never tell you guys to do something that I wouldn't do myself as a competitive dancer. Also, I'm able to provide you guys like real world examples and experience that I've encountered on the way so that you guys don't have to go through all that heartache and figuring out the hard way yourself. So like anything, dancing in particular, choreography, you get out what you put into it, okay? So again, I don't train every night of the week myself. I've got a life, I'm normal, okay? It's all good if you want to, absolutely. The more you put into it, it can only do good, right? Okay, so don't feel like you gotta put training in every night, picking up choreography, going over it, because honestly, if you find that you're doing that quite too often, you're gonna find it that you're gonna go stale on the dance, you're gonna get over the song, and you're just gonna get bored in general with it. So, and you don't want to feel over it before it even begins. So I really, really encourage you guys to, practice here and there with each other. Don't over practice, because like I said, you will get sick of it really, really quickly, okay? And then also to make sure when you do practice, picking up choreography, anything that you've learned, make sure you're being very purposeful with what you're learning. And what I mean by that is, so don't half-ass anything, okay? Because if you do, a big saying that my coaches always told me is that practice makes permanent, okay? Not perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. And what I mean by that is that if you're going and you're practicing and it's all great and you think you're doing a good job practicing, but if you're practicing the wrong thing, guess what? You're creating bad habits. And you're going to have to come in, see me, and I'm going to have to fix it all. No, I'm kidding. But honestly, it's something that you've got to be aware of, because generally people are time poor in the lead up to their weddings. So you want to make sure that the time that you do spend practicing, it's efficient, okay? I also have a same day rule that I really recommend you do, is that any day that you pick up choreography, like my clients come in and see me once a week, and I always encourage them that after they come and see me, they go home, they have dinner, watch a bit of Netflix, they be normal, you know what I mean? Live life, iron your clothes, whatever you want to do. And then to practice what you learned that day again in the same day. If you do so, you're 6 times more likely to remember it. Like, that's an actual fact. You can go look it up, all right? I learned that at university myself. You go through something, you learn it, and you go home, get your mind away from thinking about it, and then you go back and do it again later. And honestly, it makes such a difference, even from a choreography point of view. Like, I'm picking up choreography myself with my own routines, and I do the same thing, and it just works wonders. So I'm sure you guys will find that it's very helpful for you too. So same day rule, keep on it, all right? When you're practicing also, very, very important to practice in different spaces. This is getting your mind used to having to pick up landmarks of the room that you've been taught the routine in and putting it in the room that you're practicing in. Because you got to remember, even though you're practicing in the studio with your choreographer and you're learning it and everything like that, come time to the wedding, you've got to be in a different space, and that can really throw you if you're not in the right headspace and prepared for potentially getting turned around. So for me, the first thing that my dance partner and I do when we get to a dance competition is we go straight to the dance floor, we just dump our shit, we just go straight to the dance floor, don't even get changed, and we map out our routines on where it is in our heads in the studio. So we'll get there, okay, that's the stage in our studio, that's the far corner, that's where the tables and chairs are, and we literally map it out, and we sit and we go through our routines, just marking them through so we know where each corner we're doing what particular steps. So I encourage you guys to practice in multiple spaces, because it will really help you getting your head around doing it in a different area. On that, if you can, I know it's not always available, but if you can, I really encourage you guys the week of the wedding to ask the venue if you're able to go in and have a practice run in the venue itself, because that's going to be that one last sort of practice that you'll be able to do in the actual space that you're going to be doing your dance in. And I think that will be really, really beneficial to making sure and setting yourselves up to do the dance without any hiccups on the day. Something that I'm asked quite often when couples come into our learning space here at the My Bridal Centre is they question the lack of mirrors to practice in front of. And I have that conversation with them and I'm about to tell you the reason why you don't do that. It's terrible idea to practice in front of mirrors, okay? I can't be trusted around a mirror because I can't help myself but look at myself in the mirror all the time. So that's key number one, okay? And but the main reason to not have mirrors is that you get turned around, okay? You get used to seeing yourself when you're learning the choreography, and when you take those mirrors away, guess what? You don't see yourself. So that condition that you've been, conditioning yourself to is no longer there. So you feel like you've lost a safety blanket in a way when you're not seeing yourself doing the routine. And because most people are visual learners, when you've got the mirror in front of you as you're practicing and learning, you're seeing yourself, you're visualizing yourself, so you can kind of see and remember what the next step coming up is. By having no mirrors, you don't fall into that trap where you need that as a reminder for you, but rather relying on the memory and the practice techniques that we've been giving in this video. So that's about it for this video. Just make sure you when you're practicing that, like I said, you're purposeful with it. You don't fall into any bad habits. Neat feet are hard to beat, my coach always said, so make sure you're practicing them permanently correct. So perfect practice makes perfect, okay? So very, very important you keep that in mind. Try out different spaces, get your mind used to doing choreography and dancing in different spaces. Pick up the room that you've been learning in, make actual landmarks in the room. So here at the Bridal Centre, we've got the landmarks we've got a wall of wedding dresses, we've got a wall of colour dresses, we've got the entrance, and we've got the back tables and chairs set up there. So I always tell my clients to go there to their wedding venue or wherever they're practicing home in the lounge room, literally say, all right, that kitchen wall there, that's the colour dresses. And from there, they're able to sort of have a better understanding of where they're at, okay? So do that. If you can, get into the venue the week of the wedding, have a little run through because you know what the setup's going to be like. You can familiarize yourself with the actual night, which is really good. And just don't forget to enjoy yourselves in the whole process too, okay? And that's why I always say don't overtrain too much because you tend to you fall out of love with it and it becomes a chore. So you want to do it enough where you remain competent in what you're doing and then you're able to go to your next lesson and grow from there. There's no good going to your next lesson and find that you're covering the same material as you did the week before. You're just wasting the choreographer's time, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, okay? And I don't know about you, but I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of time. So, I want to make sure that whenever I'm learning something, I'm getting the most absolute value out of the time with my coaches and stuff. So you should do the same with your choreographers and teachers too, okay? Other than that, I hope that was helpful for picking up choreography. Always leave a comment down below. Always happy to help answer any questions that you may have individually. And I'll see you on the next one. If you guys like the video, please make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get a notification every time I upload. It's a very, very difficult process to learn a wedding dance if you don't have the right tools. So hopefully this series, as we go along, can give you more and more tools to make you feel confident and execute the wedding dance of your dreams.